A very good afternoon, lovely viewer. Welcome to Capuchin TV, Family Faith, where we have conversations for the youth and by the youth. And today we are going to be dealing with one particularly interesting conversation, which is prayer habits. What are your prayer habits? How often do you pray? What challenges do you face? Feel free to interact with us through 0717-424-866. That is 0717-424-866. And today we are joined by a very interesting and a very able panel. They will be introducing themselves shortly. They will be telling us their names and which parish they come from. We will start with the lady on my right.
My name is Immaculate Mombi Kemani. I come from Ratodo Dinari, Kalinga Parish. I'm a parishioner at Holy Family Minor Basilica, a counselor psychologist, practicing there at Holy Family Monday and Friday, Tuesday and Thursday at Don Bosco. Right. And also I'm an author of the Marathon Prayer Book. We're just going to talk more about it.
Yes, thank you so much, Immaculate, for finding time and coming to talk to us about prayer habits. Yes. Karibu sana.
Thank you.
Next, please.
I'm Perpetual Nganga from Kikuyu, Dinari from Kikuyu Parish.
All right.
I'm happy to be here.
All right, thank you so much, Perpetual.
Shalom, my name is Mark Kiru and I am the Vice Moderator, YSC, Kikuyu Parish. And thank you I'm glad to be here today.
All right. Thank you so much, Mark. Karibuni sana to our YSC members and leader, that is Perpetual and Mark, and we hope that this will be a very interactive session, right? Yes. So we are going to begin immediately with a conversation, that is prayer habits. So the first question will go to Madam Immaculate. Kindly, I see that you have a book, and this book is called Marathon Prayer Book, authored by Mobi wa Kemani. Yes. Kindly talk to us about this book. What does it entail? And as you tell us about this book, kindly tell us, share with us a little bit about your journey, about your prayer journey, and what led you to actually write this book.
Wow, thank you so much, and thank you for the invite.
Yes.
Very important to speak about the prayer. I'll start with saying that prayer works, and especially in our Catholic faith, we have strong prayers. That's what I'll start with. And I'm happy being a Catholic.
Yes.
So the reason why I wrote this book, the Marathon Prayer Book, I was living with kidney failure. I had a kidney failure. So there was some of the challenges which I faced. Originally, I'm a cabin crew. I was, people call it an air hostess, but I'm a cabin crew. And I got a kidney failure, and then I left my job. And as you can imagine, leaving your job, you're young and you wonder what is happening, and all those suffering and pain. It reaches a certain time, and I felt like God does not exist at all. So first agenda, the reason why I wrote this book is like asking for forgiveness from God. I guess that's number one, because it reaches a certain point where everybody rejected me, and everyone, as in the time I got sick, I had many friends, they rejected me, and I was not able to get those people who could stand with me despite having all the people I knew. And so it was a journey of which I thank God, because God sent me an angel for me. That is Bishop Kamomoe now. He was a priest by then. And he walked with me. I'll say I started this journey with my kidney failure. I went to abroad. The person who was supposed to pay the bill switched off the phone. So the church brought me to Kenya again. Get? Yeah. And by this time, I was communicating with Bishop Kamomoe. He was a priest by then. I went to the hospital and I did some tests. Then after the test, again, the doctor said I'm lying. Get? There was an influence. And then again, the same bishop supported me. You get?
Yeah.
The reason why I felt it is important to write this book, it is because when you are having challenges, difficulties, it is not easy to pray.
Yes.
I tell you, that is given. it reaches a certain time and I felt like life is not the same again. I cannot stay here again. And I remember I went to the office of Bishop. By then he was a priest, and I'm happy for him because God has rewarded him.
Yes.
He has became a bishop. You know, I felt like, in fact, I celebrated him because he made me, through God, to be alive.
Yeah.
So you can imagine. So the reason why I wrote this book is because during my illness, I experienced that you are far from God because you ask yourself a simple question: why me? Why have you given me all these struggles, pain? People are rejecting me. Everyone is running away. Why me? Number two, this journey was not an easy journey because the journey when you're having, especially when you are sick and nobody's there, nobody's understanding you, everyone is rejecting you, it's not easy to hold it. And so this book, it has a way of forgiveness, the importance of forgiving, because that's the first agenda.
All right.
Number two, it has the way you are supposed to handle your pain. So, and also it has different types of prayers in this book. It has some of novenas.
Yeah.
It has by the way, it has all the kind of novenas every person need. Every sickness, there's cancer, novena for cancer, because that is the challenge we face. There's a novena for kidney. And let me say this, how I prayed and I got healed, because we are coming there.
Yes, we are.
Myself, I did a mass. I used to ask priests. I really appreciate priests because I cannot mention all of them.
All right.
I appreciate them because they really supported me. I used to ask them mass through an intention, through an envelope. So it is important, and we are coming there. I'll show them. I'll say what I did.
Yes.
But for now, about the book, I wrote the book to make people, to give them hope, to inspire them, the power of prayers, especially even the moment you are suffering. Yes.
Wow. Thank you so much, Immaculate, for sharing your very elaborate journey. And we thank God for you that now you're fully healed.
Yes.
And you are a true testament to the fact that prayers work.
Yes, it does.
Wow. Amazing. Now, to our youths, and we will start with Mark. So what does prayer mean for you as a young member in the church?
Okay, I do think that prayer is a complex concept, but I think in layman's language, we can say prayer is a personal and intimate relationship between a human being and God. You know, God is a spiritual being, so he doesn't have like a WhatsApp number or a website we reach him. So prayer is how we stay in touch with God and establish a relationship with him. Yeah, I think that's my definition of prayer.
All right.
Yeah.
Now, what are some of the challenges that young people face when it comes to prayer? Because I believe being a young person, being in a YSC group, you encounter people who will say that I face this particular challenge when it comes to prayer. So what are some of these challenges that they encounter?
The thing is, most youth, I think, they find themselves in a situation where they are in despair. They don't know. They tend to forget how to pray. They don't know what words to use. And sometimes even when they are praying, how would I put it? They don't have faith in what they are praying for.
Yeah.
So it kind of makes them to not be inspired to pray. Yeah, I think that's the main challenge, I would say, that affects youth when they are praying. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, Mark. Now, to Perpetual. Normally, young people out there have a lot going on. They have school. Some of them are employed. Some of them have other activities that they undertake during the course of the day. So how can youths fit in prayer life into their very busy schedule?
Youth, let me start by saying, youth sometimes they see like being to God is that's a very busy thing. It's a very difficult thing. So they see it as like, that's another thing. So, and I can say, but they are supposed to be in fit, like they should look for time, like either 15 minutes to 20, and fit themselves in there just to ask God for guidance.
All right. Now, our other question to you, Perpetual, would be, now this is a very personal question. Yes. How often do you pray?
To be honest, I usually pray every day, but sometimes because of tiredness, I don't. I usually forget.
All right. Okay. Thank you so much for your honesty. Now, to Immaculate, how can someone who is trying to get, or rather to schedule prayer into their very busy lifestyle, how can they get started on it?
Wow, that's a good question. One, because prayer it's any I mean, before you start anything, you must consider that you need God.
Yeah.
Because prayer is connection with God. That's first agenda. Number two, the way you plan your life, you have to understand that you must plan prayer. Because without prayer, you cannot succeed in life.
Yeah.
So if you are busy in the morning, let's say there are people who woke up in the morning, they are going work, they woke up at 5 in the morning, they prepare themselves, by 6 they are out. And you find them, they did not even pray.
Yeah.
That means their prayer is not in their schedule. So it means the attachment with God is far. So the busy schedule is about planning yourself. For example, like Holy Family Minor Basilica,
Yeah.
we have Mass every day. Is it?
Yes,
we have
it
Mass
is.
every day.
At different times
Yes,
of the day.
different times of day.
Yes.
You'll find someone, a person have never even attended Mass. You get? But you say they are busy.
Yeah.
That means if you're waking up in the morning, by 5 you woke up at 5, you start your duties. It means then you should wake up at 4:30. You give God the time,
Yeah.
30 minutes. You pray your rosary and you pray the daily prayers.
Yeah.
Then you go to your schedule. That is a busy person, of which we can be busy with our duties, but we cannot forget about God, because you cannot succeed without prayer. And in fact, she's honest.
Yes.
It is reality for the youths.
Yes.
Youth don't pray. I've gone to many places to them to talk to them about prayer, and they come, they testify. In fact, they confess that they don't. So they see it's a real deal to pray.
Yeah.
But in prayer, if you put God in prayer every day, number one, He will protect you from all the evils. If something is planned against you, He will reveal before you see it.
All right.
Yeah.
Now, Immaculate, are there practices that the youths can actually adopt so that these practices help them in adopting a consistent prayer life?
Yes, they can. Youths can do this. You can put a gospel music. That's first agenda. They can put a music, a gospel music. Maybe if you woke up in the morning, or in your, they are using the digital now.
Yes.
You can use that one first, because it is now you're trying to make your mind to be
in tune with prayer.
Yeah. Number two, they can do journaling.
All right.
You can write what you want to tell your God. You can write it, because you want your mind to focus in prayer.
Yeah.
Because I would be honest, praying is not easy. Praying is not easy for real. That's why we forget.
Yeah.
Yes. So they can do journaling, they can put music, they can meditate. Sometimes you need to have peaceful place. You meditate about God. It is easy. So if it will help them get that urge of prayer. Yes.
All right. Thank you so much, Immaculate. We are in the month of the Holy Rosary. Actually, we are at the very end of October, which means that we are at the end. We are at the end of the month of the Holy Rosary. I will ask you, Mark, how many times did you pray the Rosary this particular month?
I don't have the exact number, but I can't lie that I have been doing it every day.
Yeah.
But I think mostly we do it on Sundays when we meet after Mass. We come together as youth and we have a rosary session. Yeah.
All right. Thank you so much. Perpetua, back to you. How many times did you pray the Rosary this month?
I can say thrice.
Thrice,
Yeah, we have a group in our parish, so I joined the group 3 times.
All right. Thank you so much. Immaculate, I can see that you're adorning your Holy Rosary around your neck. Yeah. This, of course, goes to show that you're a very ardent follower of the Holy Rosary. Kindly talk to us about the Holy Rosary.
Wow. So, the Holy Rosary first, it was introduced by Mother Mary, yeah, to receive the graces.
Yeah.
And if there is a powerful weapon we have in our Catholic Church, in fact, other denominations, I just self-fear to them, tell them this Rosary,
Yeah.
very powerful. Now, the first thing is just to make these young people aware about the Rosary. Why do we pray it? Because most of the people ask that question.
Yeah.
Why do we pray Mother Mary? Why are you get, you're praying to him, to her. But the thing is, the Rosary, the Holy Rosary, it is a symbolic of mercy.
Yeah.
And the prayer on it, I tell you, a fact that it works. And even I usually tell people, because this Holy Rosary, the church has introduced how we are supposed to pray, we as a group. But again, there's a way you are supposed to pray, you as an individual. Because Hail Mary, full of grace, the Lord is with you. Blessed are you amongst women, and blessed is the fruit of your womb, Jesus. Holy Mary, Mother of God. If you are alone, you should say, pray for me to be healed. Now the hour of my death, amen. Because you are praying Rosary alone. That means you are praying it using an intention you want.
Yes.
You get? But for the group we finish, pray for us.
Sinners.
Yes, you get? But if you are praying a Holy Rosary for yourself, you put your intention. That's a powerful. You get? Already you have put your intention. That means for the 10 beads, you are repeating the same intention. That means when you are finishing 50 of them, your intention should be answered.
Yeah.
And then about the Holy Rosary, there is this way of, let me say, Maggie, that there is a way of prayer.
Yeah.
And I forgot to mention. Because there are things which are supposed to do for our prayers to be answered. Like, for example, if you go to the church, you have your offering, but you don't know what you are doing with your offering. If you ask these youths here, the meaning of offering, I would like to know for real. Answer
Challenge.
us. Yes, let's challenge each other, is it?
Yeah.
So that we can help other youths who are watching.
Yeah.
Very
Indeed,
important.
indeed.
Can you just tell us the importance of offering? The offertory yenye tunatoa hizo mashrigi ma 100 hizo. Do you give us a reason? It is I know, don't be biased. We need to show the other youths. We need to make them aware.
True.
You get?
Indeed.
Yes, we need to make, that's why we are here.
Indeed.
Yeah, we need to change their life, we need to change them, and we need to change ourselves so nobody knows everything. So I want us to, you answer me. Do you know the reason why we give offertory to the church?
Okay. I don't know whether my answer is correct.
It's
or-
okay.
Okay. Yeah, but based on what I was taught when I did CRE, when I did catechism, we were told that there's a Bible verse that normally says that give what belongs to Caesar, and then you give what belongs to God to God. So I think it's more of giving God his.
What is due to him?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
All right.
My dear.
Perpetua,
Yes.
do you have an idea what the offertory represents or symbolizes?
Yeah, according to what I was taught in
Okay,
catechism,
yes.
I was told that it helps the children who don't have anything and the old people. Yeah.
Wow.
All right. Immaculate, educators.
Thank you so much. The answers you have given me, those are the answers I have got from Christians, not to youths now, from Christians. Are you getting this?
Yes.
That means it is not our fault as young people.
Yes.
It is the fault of our parents.
Uh-huh.
You get?
Yes.
Because number one, offering.
Uh-huh.
Are you getting this?
Uh-huh.
If you, on Sunday, because priests are doing mass every day,
Yes.
it's not about Caesar and whoever. It's about you. Offering is you. If you go to the mass right now, because you'll have mass at 5:15 at Holy Family, a priest cannot do a mass without
The congregants.
not even on the congregant, without the host
And the wine.
and the wine.
Yes.
And already this priest is having a host and wine at the altar. That means the host and wine which we are bringing in, they are not using it. The reason is that is a sacrifice for them, for the mass to be accepted.
Yeah.
So I usually tell Christians where I go to church, because I'm invited by priests to teach them about this. One, if you did not come prepared with your offering, because offering, you must have an intention. So what I'm offering, I should have an intention in it. For example, you need job. Cynthia, you come with your offertory. You dedicate that mass that God, I want you to give me employment. You get?
Now, Immaculate, before you go on, I know we are digressing a bit, but this is a very burning question.
Sure.
Normally, in Kenya, we have seen this particular practice of offertory being abused by others who say that if you want a job, kuja upande mbegu. So where do we draw the line in between having an offertory being presented to Christ and to the altar in a very genuine manner, and sasa kupanda mbegu?
Wow. Wow, panda begu. Kujeni Catholic. Now, there's something I love in my Catholic church.
Yeah.
Because us, we don't have panda begu. It's a real deal.
Yeah.
In fact, if you go to a priest and you start arguing about offering, tithing, they don't argue with you. They let you be. Because the moment a priest will stand at the altar and start explaining what I'm explaining, first thing for people, will think they need money. Of which they don't need your money. But it is something to help you. Let me answer your question.
Yes.
You enter in the church, is it?
Yes.
You do in the name of the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. Amen. You kneel down with your offering and intention. You mention it. You get?
Yeah.
So you have started the mass with the Father, a priest.
Yes.
Every mass, there is people who are animating. They always have an envelope. That envelope is for them. It's not for the church. It's for the jumuiya. That means if you are not prepared going to the church with your envelope, with your intention, that means you are escorting these people who are animating. You get? So our Catholic church and the Pandabegu is a different case. Because here, a priest is not saying that bring your Pandabegu. It is you with your intention. So the moment we are going for offering, you are taking your offering, knowing that you have already mentioned your intention.
All right.
Then when the priest is there at the altar, he's doing mass.
Yes.
You mention again your intention, because there's a place he says this mass was requested by who. You mention your intention.
Yes.
Yes.
All right. I'm saying that time is almost up. We have less than 2 minutes with us. So let me just ask Mark this particular question in less than 2 minutes. What is the history of the Holy Rosary? Because remember that we were discussing about the Holy Rosary, right? So what is the history? Are you aware of how it started and how it came to be adopted in the Catholic Church?
I don't know the full history, but from what I may recall, the Rosary, it started when Saint Dominic, he had a vision, and it's in this vision where he was able to receive this rosary from Mary. I think it was in the year 1200, if I'm not wrong. So the rosary was brought in as a way to redeem more Christians. At the time, there was a challenge on how people opted to pray. So the rosary was brought in to allow more Christians to learn how to pray. Yeah.
All right. Thank you so much, Mark. Thank you for that brief history. And now, dear viewer, we have had a very, very interesting session. We are going to go for our first break. But when we come back, we are going to delve more into the prayer habits and the Holy Rosary in particular. Do not touch that dial.
Todos los cristianos somos responsables de la misión de la Iglesia. Todos los sacerdotes, todos. Los sacerdotes no somos los jefes de los laicos, sino sus pastores. Jesús nos ha llamado a unos y a otros, no a unos por encima de los otros, ni a unos por un lado y a otros por el otro, sino complementándonos, somos comunidad. Por eso debemos caminar juntos, recorriendo el camino de la sinodalidad. Claro, ustedes me pueden preguntar, ¿qué puedo hacer yo, conductor de autobús, yo, campesina, o yo, pescador? Lo que tenemos que hacer todos, dar testimonio con nuestras vidas y corresponsabilizarnos de la misión de la Iglesia. Los laicos, los bautizados, están en la Iglesia en su propia casa y tienen que cuidarla, lo mismo que nosotros, los sacerdotes, los consagrados, cada uno aportando lo que mejor sabe hacer. Somos corresponsables en la misión. Participamos y vivimos en la comunión de la Iglesia. Oremos para que la Iglesia siga apoyando por todos los medios un estilo de vida sinodal, bajo el signo de la corresponsabilidad, promoviendo la participación, la comunión y la misión compartida entre sacerdotes, religiosos, laicos.
Welcome back, dear viewer, to Capuchin TV, formerly Faith, with me, your host, Maggie Minor. And we are still continuing with our conversation, that is prayer habits, whereby we are being joined by the author of Marathon Prayer Book, that is Mumbi Wakimani, or as she loves to call herself, Mobi Wakimani, and other two YSC members from Kikuyu Dinari, that is Perpetua and Mark. So without further ado, let us continue with the conversation, all right? And Immaculate, we'll start with you. What do you think has made the Rosary become a powerful tool over the years? You know, it's been one prayer that has never evaded the Catholic calendar. It's forever been there, and it has been a consistent prayer. So what has made it so powerful and consistent all through the years?
Well, one, a Rosary is a form of meditating. Mm-hmm. Because the moment you're touching those beads, already you are meditating, and that's why it cannot be broken. Mm-hmm. Because I think according to the Rosary, we have different, the mysteries. Mm-hmm. Like if you want to, maybe you are sorrow, you feel, you are worried, you know, it is divided. You do that, the sorrowful mystery, mm-hmm. and you find it is helping you. As much as you are feeling like you're nobody, mm-hmm. it is giving you that strength. That means a Rosary, it is helping you in meditating. Mm-hmm. And also it's a form of healing. Yeah. It's a form of healing in this way, because the moment you start reciting the Rosary, First, if you keep on meditating about Jesus Christ, because this is what Mother Mary did during the suffering of his son.
Yeah.
You find yourself that you are having courage. And the rosary cannot be, it will stay because in the form of protection, most of the people will pray the rosary for protection, and it has really done wonders in our faith. And that's why you find most of the people, like me, I can do without a rosary.
Yes.
Per day, I do 3 rosaries. And I meet people and they ask me, "You're ever smiling?" Anyway, the rosary, you get. Because one, when you pray, Mother Mary is with you. That means in Catholic Church, it has stayed because of the graces it is holding.
All right. So,
Yes.
Immaculate, are you saying that the rosary, one of the reasons as why it's been very consistent all through the centuries, it's because it's very relatable.
Yes.
It's very relatable in that if you feel sorrowful, if you are undergoing a particular issue in your life, you can meditate upon the sorrowful mysteries.
Yes.
All right.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you so much, Immaculate. Now, Perpetua, how has the rosary affected you spiritually and emotionally?
I'll start by saying emotionally. Sometimes I feel like I'm too low to pray the rosary. I feel like how is it going to help me sometimes? And then, but I remember it will help me because Mother Mary is with me and Mother Mary will guide me. But when I remember that maybe I'm too tired, I just say, I'll do it tomorrow. Then spiritually, I can say it has helped me as a youth, though it's not all, I don't pray it consistently. I usually fail sometimes. So spiritually, I can say I have failed. I personally have failed spiritually.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Mark, most of the youths, just as Perpetua said, have a problem with focusing when it comes to praying the entire rosary. By the time they are onto the 3rd decade, they are either asleep or their mind has already wandered off to some other imagination. So what do you think the youths can do for them to actually focus while meditating through the mysteries of the Holy Rosary?
Okay, first of all, I would say the reason we lose focus, the reason most people, not just youth, the reason most people lose focus when they are praying the rosary is because they don't know how to pray the rosary. They don't know that after every mystery we are supposed to say this, there is this. So I think that's one of the reasons why people, they go astray when they are praying the rosary. How you would improve on that? I think, as Immaculate has said, the rosary is supposed, when you're praying the rosary, it's a moment of meditation. So you should not harden your heart. You should put your heart at ease, and then you just feel God's presence as you know, the rosary is like a journey. Every decade. So you should not harden your heart. You should just ease in your heart as you pray, as you meditate. And I think through that you can't lose focus. There's a way you feel God's presence as you continue praying the rosary. Yeah. You just keep your mind into it and meditate. Don't think about and then something else also. It's also important that when you're praying the rosary, you are in an environment that suits you. Because, the background noise or anything, that if you're in an environment that is not suitable, it becomes very hard to concentrate. So you should be in a place that is very suitable, very serene, and then you pray as you meditate. Yeah.
All right. Thank you, Mark. Immaculate, talk to us in the spirit of prayer habits. Talk to us about group prayers and personal prayers.
Wow. Now, the group prayers and personal prayers, we start with the rosary first. No?
Yeah.
Wow. When people are doing the rosary together, it goes so well, by the way.
Yeah.
Maybe if some people, maybe they are tired, you'll find only one person or two sleeping. Yeah?
Yeah.
A group prayer, people are embraced because we are many. You don't have to to sleep. It's like now we are doing a show. You don't want to, all of us we are at, because we don't want we don't want to look as in we are forced. But now, the difference between a group prayer and a personal prayer, here is the challenge. Because when I want to do my prayers, most of the time, I'm diverted. Especially if you have a challenge. That's why we are diverted. You have something in your mind. So you are doing a rosary. You find all of a sudden you have slept. All of a sudden you have left it. You get?
Is that for the group or for the personal?
The personal.
Oh, yes.
But for the group, you'll finish the rosary. I would like us, we embrace our personal life with prayer. Because grouping is not like praying alone. There's a difference. Because in a group, we have a certain intention for the group. Because we are praying group, that means you cannot include your personal intention there. And in your personal prayer, you'll be able to mention whatever is bothering you. And I would like to say this, because prayer is a process. Without offering, without tithing, without thanksgiving, without seeing the sick, visiting those who are in jail, and helping the poor, even if you pray, to receive a grace is not easy. Because prayer, tithing is prayer. Offering is prayer. Thanksgiving is prayer.
So Immaculate is saying, I do not necessarily have to verbally talk to God. That's what you're saying, that if I want to pray, I can just as well give my offering and that will be a prayer.
I want to say this. Okay, let me use it. Allow me to use this and do not, I hope viewers do not misquote me. But I want to use it for you to understand me. Those who go, I like watching Nigerian movie. For the witches, you get? Those who are going for the witches, now I'm using this to make Christians learn. They go with something, having faith that the witch doctor, whatever I'm giving, I'm going to receive. Are you getting this? As Christian, you have priests. Because that's our witch doctor in Christianity. But now, you went to the witch doctor with something. That means, because I want something to happen in my life. You volunteer yourself, he will request, even if it is a car, you'll take it to the witch doctor to receive a certain grace you want from him. Come to Christianity life is so unfortunate. As you go to the church, empty-handed, it is a sacrifice. There is no, anything you do, even the time we are going, to do dowries and everything, there is a sacrifice. Even in your prayer, you need a sacrifice. I want to tell you this, and you do your own research. There are people who come, who usually in the church, from Monday to Sunday, for the whole of the year. And they come to the priest saying, I'm praying from Monday to Sunday, Father, nothing is happening. But if you question that person, how do you give out your offering? Because offering is giving to God. It's not about giving to priests. Tithing is about God. Give 10% of what you're supposed to give. And then with your intention, my friend, you receive the graces. But what people do, tithing, they just give for the sake of giving. Are you getting this? But God in heaven is seeing. That's why I'm not familiar with the Bible, but there's a certain place. A woman who gave out alipeana pesa gapi? That woman.
A very small offering.
And Jesus accepted that.
Because it was everything that she had.
Yes. That's the thing. You must have a sacrifice. There's nothing without sacrifice. And in our former, that's why you see most of the people are running away to the other denomination, because this the return. It's a sacrifice for you to receive the grace.
So Immaculate, in short, you're saying that offertory, tithes are also a form of prayer.
Yes, it's a form of prayer. It's a form of prayer in this way. You should not give your envelope, a tithe, without a prayer, without an intention. People are having many things saying about, but the thing is, the tithe 10% is for you. It's not about for any other person. Yes.
All right. Wow. Okay. Interesting. We are learning, dear viewer. We are learning as the second goes by. Now, Perpetual, have you ever experienced a dry season in your prayer life?
Yes, I have. This time I'm still in school. Yes, this time. Because I find it like the other things, they are more. So I find myself going to the other things. Then I forget about prayers. And the moment I think about prayers, it's the moment when I have something bad has happened to me. That's the time I remember God. And when the thing that had happened to me, it's over, I just forget about God. So it becomes very difficult for me to be consistent. Yeah.
All right. Mark, what are some of these attributes that make us experience a dry season in our prayer life?
First of all, I would say that as Christians, we tend to fail. I'll use this analogy. You only go to the hospital when you're sick, and that's the thing we do. That's the mistake we do as Christians. We only go to God when we are in need. When everything is okay, we hardly remember to pray. So I think most of the times we are, as she said, we are mostly carried away by the earthly things, and they make us to tend to drift away from God. So we don't pray, we don't read the Bible, we don't even go to church. And when you don't grow, when you don't do those things that help you grow spiritually, you tend to be dry in terms of spiritual matters. So I think mostly focusing on earthly things is what makes us to divert away from our spiritual growth. Yeah.
So are you saying that some of us as Christians, we tend to view God as a supermarket? If things are going on well, we are nowhere near prayer life and near God. But when things are a bit haywire, that's when we run on to Him and say, God, please, I need this and that. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah. Which it's very wrong. Very wrong. I think prayer should be something that is a routine. The same way you wake up and you take a shower, you brush your teeth. Like there are things that are innately in you that you know when you wake up you must do. I think we as Christians we tend to fail and we don't do that with prayer. We don't make it a routine. We only make it something that is a circumstantial aspect to us. Yeah.
Okay, Immaculate, you have heard our youths. Yes. What can a person do so that they can come out of this dry season in their prayer life?
One, on the side of youth or any other person?
Every other person.
Wow, okay. So one is that you must be aware the prayers are like you must attend Mass. You must go for confessions. I mean, because we as Catholics, we have our own protocol or the procedure we follow. And as a Christian, if you don't follow them, it is not easy for you to pray. One, if you miss the church, the prayer life will not be like that. You'll not be able to pray very well. It doesn't mean that even if you pray in the house, God will not hear. But the thing is, if in your house you have a tabernacle, are you getting this? Indeed. If maybe in your house you have a priest, you can do it in the house. But now we have a very, very, us as Catholics, we have an advantage of having a Holy Mass. It's only in Catholic you have a Holy Mass. And it is very important for us to know this. Without God, you cannot succeed. That's given. That means for you to have a prayer habit, you must go to the church, you go for Mass, you at least per week, you can go twice, because all of our priests are giving us Masses. And you find maybe the churches are having one person, but he will do the Mass, regardless. So that means we need to embrace a prayer. Number two, we need to be aware. Why do you pray? You need to be aware. The prayer life. Why do you pray? how do I meet this God? Because when people are having a lot of issues, most of the people, even the young people, they don't know the reason why we pray.
Yeah.
Must we go to church for God to hear our prayer? That means we need to make them aware that since we don't have a tabernacle in the church, in our home, and we don't have a priest to do a holy mass for us, that means we need to go to church so that we may receive the graces.
All right.
Yes.
All right. Thank you so much, Immaculate. And I can see that we have a few people who are following us, and we have received a few comments. Number one from Isaac Etiang. He's saying, KTK Kamoi Kibuga Marakwet West Niko Ndani Kabisa. The other one from Fifi Emush saying, I am following you guys. And finally from Chebo Motosio Mam Valentine saying, following from Nandi County. Now we are going to jump straight into our final remarks. So Mark, what would you advise the youth? What's your final remark? What advice do you have to the youths out there who want to develop a consistent prayer life?
What I would say is, first of all, as Catholics, we are very privileged that we have the Rosary, and the good thing about the Rosary, it's universal. What I'm praying as a Kenyan is whatever somebody else is praying in Spain or wherever. We have that universal symbol, which is the Rosary. And first of all, as youths, I know we have all undergone catechism. Let's remind ourselves how to pray the Rosary. And as much as we know how to pray the Rosary, let's do it regularly. From a personal level, as a family, as a youth group, even or as Jumuias even actually. So let's utilize the Rosary. And as I said earlier, let's not treat prayer as a circumstantial aspect where we only pray when we need. Let's always learn to pray every time, whether it's in the morning, before meals, afternoon. And from what I remember, prayer, when you're praying, there's a format. And I think we used to say acts, yes. You start with adoration, then you go to confession, thanksgiving, and then now you can tell God what you want to tell them. There are novenas everywhere, so if you need guidance, you can always seek a priest. Yeah. So let's continue cultivating the culture of prayer in every aspect in our lives. Yeah.
All right. Thank you so much, Mark. Perpetua, what advice do you have to the young people, and what is your final remark?
Okay. For advice, I can tell the youth to stop listening to other people, because I can say even peer pressure is making us not to go to church and not making us to stop praying. Because if, for example, for me, I usually pray and tell my friend, come we pray together. My friend would be like, no, mbono naomba, it is not important. So we stop listening to other people, and we should put our mind that friends won't help us whenever we're in trouble. We should always seek God. And also I can say parents should also talk to the youth. Even if they're in school, they should show the youth the importance of prayers, how prayers they are important, because our parents go to church and leave us asleep. I can say parents, they are feeling there. So even parents should be part of us. They should show us the importance of prayer. Yeah.
Thank you so much, Perpetua. Immaculate, kindly your final remark, and tell us where we can get this amazing book called The Prayer Marathon Book.
Wow. I'll start with the Prayer Marathon Book. You can get it at Catholic Bookshop, Holy Family Minor Basilica, and the Youth Shop, and also in Mombasa Cathedral Bookshop. It is there.
Okay.
Wow. What I would like to say first is to support the youth, because the parents, it is true they are failing in prayer. Because if you don't pray when you are having dinner, when you are in the morning, they don't pray together. Everyone you woke up and go. They don't. So the young people are not embraced in prayer. So they are wondering how are you telling us to pray and our parents don't pray. So the moment they are adults, it is hard to convince them that there's this God who exists and the power of prayer. So I'd like to say to the parents, they should take that action of showing interest in prayer. And let's say that you cannot do without a prayer. You cannot survive. You cannot succeed in life without prayer. Because especially nowadays, the world is evil. You must do the necessary. You keep yourself in prayer. You give out tithing. You give out offering with intentions. You do a Thanksgiving Mass. If you ask some people, when was your last to do a Thanksgiving Mass? When you're looking for a job, you're going to a priest. You are requesting a priest, please help me to pray. I get a job. After you get a job, you don't have a Thanksgiving. After a certain period, you are sacked out. You get, so these things, people should follow the right thing for God to have mercy on us. The graces we receive, we must sacrifice for ourselves. Yes.
All right. Thank you so much, Immaculate. I'll just like to quote Pope Francis. He says, our strength is prayer, and the prayer of a humble person is the weakness of God. That's all the time that we had today. Thank you for joining us. Keep it locked, Capuchin TV. See you next week, same time, same place. Thank you. Yo, what's up, my guys? Yeah, Jenny was saying the wait is finally over.
Yeah, and Capuchin TV brings you exciting news for the youth this year 2024 with a youth program called
Form Ni Faith. In this particular program, we will be bringing you Bible trivias.
We have discussions. We have talent show for those ones who love to showcase their talents, like singing.
I do what I can when I care for my people.
Modeling,
oral narratives, spoken words.
Hey, stop walking while I'm talking. Nataka kuji-express, at least nitoe stress. Even if I can smile, it's only for a while. Yesu anakudai, that's why he accepted to die on the cross, to remove your dilemma and to give you a new direction.
Catch us on every Wednesday from 2 to 3 p.m. only at Capuchin TV.
You can also get the repeat shows every Wednesday from 7 p.m. again only on Capuchin TV. And remember,
if you would love us to come and cover your event, you can contact us on 0717 424 866. Form New Faith with your